Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Jerry Jarmay. I'm a photographer, creator and a certified coaching psychologist. Well, today I want to talk about clarity. Because have you ever had that feeling where you're rushing around feeling busy but actually getting nowhere? You're creating loads of content and you're chasing loads of clients, but you're just getting really burnt out. It's not the effort, it's the clarity. For years, I threw content on social media hoping that something would stick. But it felt like I was really busy and I felt like I was doing something, but in the end, I just felt burnt out, frustrated and disheartened because nothing was really going anywhere. And this happens because you mistake being busy for being productive. And what happens is we stay in this idea of action because the idea of action still feels rewarding. Particularly for freelancers and entrepreneurs and creators, we can become quite solo orientated, solo operators. And this really hinders our motivation because you don't have the collective intelligence, the collective creative, the collective community. And collaboration and community are really key to help drive you forward. This is why as a coach, we talk about having accountability buddies or working in big teams. And this is why people who are in businesses usually excel better because they're all grouped together. So why does clarity beat hustle? Well, have you ever heard of the self-concept clarity? SCC, self-concept clarity. So what is it? Well, it's the extent to which our self-beliefs are clearly and confidently defined and we're consistent and stable. So we understand our value, where we're going, how we're going to get there, and we're consistently making the steps to drive ourselves forward. Now, research has shown that low SCC, low self-concept clarity, can really hinder your motivation, creates indecision, burnout, and a lot of second guessing. While your brain's full of this clutter, you're going to get overthinking paralysis because you've got so many things and tasks to think about. And it's unclear where to go and how to start. There is a theory called the Zygomatic effect. It means when you have a lot of unfinished tasks and incomplete ideas, they stay active in your mind, causing you mental tension and overwhelm and frustration, which leads to then inaction and things get unresolved. So let's define your why, aka your purpose. The reason you do what you do doesn't have to be a fancy mission statement. It could just be the things that bring you joy and that inspire you in life. So if someone was to stop you and ask you, why are you doing this? Your answer should be clear and instinctive. But that also takes work to figure out what is your why. And it's not enough just to have goals. It's about having goals that are emotionally connected to you. Success isn't just about setting targets and tasks. It's about being able to see your future self. And some people don't like to be future orientated, but then what happens is that you go through these directions or these paths, and when you ask, why are you here? You end up saying, oh, I just kind of fell into it. But sometimes that works for some people, but some people it can become quite unsatisfying. And that emotional connection of your future vision, that's what really keeps your motivation and drive going over the long term, because that can also deplete as we're on this journey. But understanding where you want to go and why you want to get there, that will keep you motivated through the hardest of challenges. Understanding your why, that means it helps you then align your daily actions with the future version of yourself. And even though it's hard and difficult and stressful at times, you're willing to put the effort in because you know where you want to go. And when that alignment is in place, you go from being busy to being focused, from chasing success to actually making an impact in your life and others. So how do you harness that power of clarity? Well, there's 3 things that you can do. Firstly, define what success means to you, what it looks like, what your core values, what's your overarching feeling for your life, and not what the world expects success to look like. Secondly, create a mental, vivid picture of your future self thriving in that success. It's the idea of acting and being and stepping into the person you see your future self being like. And thirdly, get crystal clear on your core values because they are your guiding light. They're your North Star. What are your core values and how do you want your life to look? And when you do these 3 steps, this is when you'll start feeling less scattered and more motivated to move with intention. Here's the truth. Gaining clarity can be extremely uncomfortable and challenging because you have to then step out of your comfort zone and understand all the steps that you have to take to move forward. You can start thinking things like, I'm not ready. What if I fail? I don't have the time. But that's just your brain resisting the challenge of growth. and it's completely normal. We have to start reframing the clarity fear. When you're feeling confused and challenged and exhausted, understand that's not your right, that's not you failing, that's you expanding and growing. Things are going to start off difficult and blurry at first, but if you keep on leaning into it, things will start to click into place. So don't fight the blur, trust the process. The clearer the vision, the clearer your impact. Here are the actionable steps you can use to eliminate some of the confusion that will lead you to clarity. This is a technique called the GROW model, and I use this technique in my coaching sessions to help you unravel your goals. And if you apply this tool with NIP, which is notice, interest, and pose, this will help you gain more emotional connection towards your clarity and your roadmap. So let's get started. Let's talk about the GROW model. Let's break it down into manageable steps. So G stands for goals. What do I actually want to achieve? The R stands for reality. Where am I now? The O stands for options. What actions will bridge this gap? And the W stands for will. What specific steps can I take today? One of the hardest things about clarity is strategy and focus. That's why 3-month planning is so powerful. Your brain finds it easier, basically less exhausting to take action in smaller chunks. But you might have an idea of where you want to be. But just like time management, you can plan your day perfectly, but then things prop up. You know what I'm talking about. Emails, last minute changes, calls, all those unexpected distractions. And the same goes for long-term plans. So when you set these goals for 6 to 12 months, it's so easy to become distracted and then lose momentum. But if you break it down into 3 months, you're far more likely to stay on track and stick to your goals. And also you're going to feel accomplished every time you hit one of those goals. But the key is definitely staying flexible because life is challenging and obstacles are going to get in the way. So being able to adapt and learning to let go is really part of the journey, especially when things don't go your way. And protecting your mental and physical energy is crucial because some goals won't be met and that's okay. And sometimes you're going to fail and that's okay. And sometimes you'll focus shifts and that's not failure, but it's important to try and not burn out. Being open to change, this is what really leads to self-expression. Trying out new things, jumping out of your comfort zone. And while change can feel uncomfortable, I feel it daily, in the long run, it will bring you more clarity and a stronger sense of self. So at the risk of hearing no from clients and having unanswered emails and facing rejection, you're actually expanding. And there is research that suggests that putting yourself out there leads to a greater sense of understanding and an overall life satisfaction. And that's what real growth looks like. How does clarity come into play? Well, mainly it keeps you motivated. And research suggests that a lack of clarity can cause psychological distress, reduced motivation, and a lack of progress. So when you take ownership of your goals and your roadmap and where you want to go and you gain that clarity, you're going to feel more empowered. A well-defined roadmap will keep you motivated, keep you on track. Also, you can track your progress and adjust where needed. Here's a challenge for you. What's the one small step you can do in the next 48 hours that will slightly move you forward towards your dreams, ambitions, and goals? Maybe it's drafting that LinkedIn post defining your niche. Maybe it's sending that imperfect pitch. I've written this script about 5 times over the last week. I know the pain. Change is uncertain. Rejection is possible. It's energy depleting. But I'm learning to find the pleasure in the resistance and the comfort in making the unknown known. Because action beats perfection. So get moving and the clarity will follow. So let's wrap this up. What do we know? Clarity isn't about having all the answers. It's about defining your direction. The research shows that putting yourself out there can lead to greater expansion and self-understanding and life satisfaction. So next time you're feeling overwhelmed, don't ask yourself, what should I do? Ask yourself, where do I want to go? If you'd like some help gaining clarity, then please feel free to download my workbook. You'll get the 12-week sprinter and goal planner. You'll also get the future self presets, and you'll also get the self-concept clarity worksheet. And let me know how it goes. Please feel free to let me know what's the one thing this week you're going to get clear on. If this content helped, then please do me the honor and the favor of becoming part of my tribe and hitting the like and subscribe button, and let's get clearer together. That's it for today, my Rise and Thrive Trailblazers. Keep creating, keep evolving, and most importantly, keep showing up for yourself. I'll see you in the next one.